And I'll send them to you.
Because I know my mechanics aren't great, and I definitely need to get like combos
Yeah.
better. But just in terms of like trading patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to be more aggressive and get the passive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why did you take bone plating into Kale?
Oh, okay. That's just what I usually use.
Okay. So do you at least know what bone plating does?
Yes, that's the consecutive attacks.
Right. So what is the other option in that line?
I guess second wind.
Yeah. So what is second window?
Okay. You get health back after the first attack.
Yeah, or just anytime you get damaged, you heal for like 10 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So bone plating is good into matchups
Like
where you
bruises.
can, yeah, where you can maintain it because they don't have the range to
Okay.
really just proc your bone plating. And then second
So
wind is for range
just like
champs.
poke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
And what would
anything
you
that
say
has a
about like
DOT.
okay? And what would you say about like Arcane Comet or something? Because I've seen people say go Arcane Comet against ranged.
Well,
Just because it's harder to proc grasp. Maybe less Kale, but more like a Vayne or Lucian or something, or Kennen.
I have no clue on that to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a
But definitely
question for
second wind
just
at
a
least.
GP main.
Okay.
That's too
Okay, but
specific.
definitely okay, yeah. But definitely second wind at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're gonna go down the resolve tree. Good. Q walking in the bush. Seeing a lot of that. Okay, but now she's at level 2, so you have to respect that and play back. Just look to freeze the wave on your side, preferably.
So I definitely feel like I've gotten better with freezing, but I'm bad when I back. Like
Okay.
the management when I back is not great. Like I'll back sometimes and I can't tell if it's gonna push or not.
Mm-hmm. Could you hear that?
Yeah. It sounded like a table moving or something.
Yeah, that was thunder outside.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been really bad weather around the house recently.
We had bad storms like last week.
Yeah. Okay, this should be easy. I'm guessing this is where you get your 1 kill of the game.
Or assist. We both flash. I think he gets it, I think. We definitely get it.
Okay, there we go.
And maybe he dies. Oh, this was this was fine. I just don't know what E was doing.
Oh, alright. Okay, you live, you get Sheen.
So okay, question right here.
Uh-huh.
Would you definitely like not TP and just walk back there? Like that was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Just because it's on my side.
Um... Well, not because it was on your side, but because she's not going to get the wave under the turret.
Okay. If she's gonna get on the turret, then TP.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the only times you would TP are if she's gonna get the wave under the turret and you're not gonna get there in time, so you miss a bunch, or if the enemy is stronger than you and freezing, or not stronger than you.
Okay.
Sorry, if they're weaker than you and freezing.
Okay.
Because you can break
Keep the
it.
pressure on.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they're stronger, then they'll just kill you when you TP, so you don't want to do that.
It's so embarrassing watching some of my barrel chains out of range.
When you need to be throwing down a ward now. Hopefully you do. Where's the ward?
What's my cooldown? Oh, do I have a cooldown? Do you see the cooldown on it?
You have one up.
Oh, I have one. Okay.
Yeah. You're halfway to your second one, almost. He's gonna get you. Maybe.
He definitely comes up. He
Yeah.
definitely comes up at some point, and I just walk away. Okay, so there's the ward.
Yeah. Very,
late.
very late.
Oh, late. Yeah. I don't think, because I don't think we saw him on the map. Oh, yep.
There
he's right
he
here.
is.
At least I should at least auto him there.
What for?
Just because I was standing right next to him and I had a passive.
He's gonna heal almost all of it by the time he goes to his next camp.
Okay.
It wouldn't really matter.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, he just grabs the plant.
And I mean, they don't really have any CC here for me, so I can. Is it okay to still play up a bit?
Well,
Not. I mean, obviously not too far, but
yeah, you can
within range.
You can play up knowing that they can't really lock you down. Yeah, you should be playing more aggressive against the E typically. Once he gets level 6, you'd have to play back, but early you can be more aggressive. Okay, we need to be rotating. Good.
Okay. So at this point, my Pantheon complained that I didn't slow him with my barrels,
Mm-hmm.
and I only had. Thankfully, I only had one. It's a little harder with one, obviously.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have a chain available. Because I told him I didn't have a chain, but I was like, hopefully I'm right.
Okay. So when it comes to wave management, we're not shoving the lane, and I don't like that. We are now, but it took too long.
Okay, when would I? As soon as she disappears, basically.
Well, not necessarily disappears, but yeah, well, yes, when she disappears, but the reason is because of her mana and health.
So I know she's gonna back.
Yes, she has to back.
Okay. Okay.
And so then you just look to shove, force her to use her teleport. And then once you shove, then you can just go recall.
Okay, so just shove now, basically.
Yep. And then after that, you should have a decent amount of gold to buy items.
You see so much more miss farm in replays. Like I literally just stared at the one. That's another thing I definitely do wrong with GP is I sometimes I'll watch my map for too long.
Okay, so you have 709 gold. You bought boots already. And then you go longsword, dagger, and you wait for the control ward. So why are you buying the control ward here?
Just to keep on my tri push.
Okay. So what are you doing that requires you to ward your Travush? What are you planning to do?
Because I guess I'm expecting her to push more now because she's 6.
Okay.
So like, so I assume I'm gonna be under tower, not under tower, but on my side more.
Yeah. So if she's pushing, that's the exact reason you don't buy the control ward. So I'll go ahead and explain it. So let's say that you're here under turret, okay?
Okay.
Now, when you're
If
here,
I have a,
you have one stealth ward, you just throw it here.
okay.
You don't need anything else. Now,
Control ward behind me.
no, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Um, you could, but you as long as you stay healthy, you're fine.
Okay.
But if you're pushing, so like if you're here,
If I'm pushing, I want it in the river.
well, you want control here and then stealth here.
Okay.
Because you want to have both bushes warded. But if you're further back, you don't need both bushes warded. You only need one. So that's why you just use your stealth.
Okay.
But no, with your barrels, ulti, and W, it should be very difficult for them to dive you.
Yeah.
Assuming that you don't let them just walk up to you for free.
Yeah, I mean nobody can dive in silver anyway.
Yeah.
I have so much trouble with barrels against ranged champions. Like, I mean, it's like, see how much CS I'm down at this point? Like, I feel like this happens every game.
Let's look at this trade here.
I don't know why I traded here.
Yeah. You just traded in the whole minion wave. Right here. I think you were just so desperate to get her off of you that you fought her.
Well, I remember in the moment I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And then you just committed to it. Made it worse.
I mean, I guess I felt like I was close enough to tower that I wasn't gonna die at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I got ult out of her, which no good player would do.
So, getting the ult out of her would have been helpful, but then you ulted.
Yes.
And so then it just evens out.
Yes.
Well, actually, I think your ultimate's worth more than hers. Because of the
And pretty sure my cooldown is longer too.
Probably is. Let's see, 162. 160. Yeah, okay, so they're basically the same with how the CDR is at the moment.
Yeah.
What was that Scuff Pantheon ult?
Oh, he complained about me. He complained to me about that too. He's like, "Where's the slow?" I was like, "You ulted behind her." Okay, so show up here makes sense, or?
Yep.
I mean, she's definitely backed, but I don't know. I forget how low she was.
Even if she didn't back and she stayed, there's no way that she can clear this. It's gonna crash whether she's here or not because KO wave clear is just too weak early.
Yeah. Okay, so she did stay, but back in there was fine.
Yeah. No, she didn't stay. She TP'd.
Oh.
That's why she's full HP in mana.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. At what point would you consider getting full boots? If I'm getting if I'm behind?
Into this matchup, I would have gotten it earlier.
Okay, and what would you say against Kale? Because she's someone I definitely have. I'm unsure about because she's AP, but basic attacks are.
You get Ninja Tabis.
Okay.
You want Ninja Tabis because it's still good against Kale because of her auto attacks.
Well, I figure Yi and Ezreal.
And Pike. Yep.
And Pike. Okay.
So it's gonna work for everyone. Yeah. So I probably would have either gotten it after Shane, or you could have even gotten it just before Shane.
First.
Just straight rushed
Okay.
it. And it would have been very, very helpful at sticking onto her in some of these trades, making
Yeah.
sure that you're actually able to land your slow.
Like I would say one of my, I guess my general weak matchups are scaling champions that I lane against. Because like I don't keep them down long enough, essentially.
Yeah, because you play so passively.
Yeah.
You need to be thinning this wave a little bit as she's pushing it into you, so that you can
So I
freeze
can.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of just playing so far back and letting her have complete control. Because she can't just run you over. You have bone plating up and she's a KO. She doesn't have the damage. Not sure she'll hurt a little bit, but you have your heal, you have your barrels, you can stay back. It's not a really risky play to go for.
Like what was that chain there?
Where was the ult?
It was on the Morgana.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Wait. Did I see
Or
it?
sorry, not the Morgana. the
Okay,
Pike.
okay. Yeah. On the Master Yi.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Got a kill out of it. Or at least Pantheon did.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't great, but I think I figured it's Yi, so just get him dead.
Yeah. Once again, we need to be just clearing this a little bit.
Okay.
The more you
And I
can
guess-
freeze it, the harder it's going to be for KO.
Okay. And I guess it does. Yeah, I mean it will reduce my time farming literally under tower.
Mhm. We need to be leaving as soon as we can. So we're in range for the KO to dive
Okay.
with her ultimate.
Because he definitely has ult now.
Yeah. Okay, here we do. TP back. This TP is fine because you need to catch the wave. Although with better wave management, you wouldn't have had to use the TP.
Okay. So just clear more earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, part of the problem is just because you're so weak
so
into the
passive.
KO.
Okay.
Because of your early game wave management, and then it just continued to pile up.
See, like I just walked past that melee minion.
Where?
Oh boy. I think. Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew Pantheon was coming.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wanted you to pay for the Pantheon, but that was a little bit sketchier than I thought it was gonna have to be. Guess this is good. Team does well. You get turret.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pretty much it's just super snowball from here. So I guess another question would be when if my team's getting run over in the rest of the map and my lane's like pretty even and both towers are still up, sometimes I feel like I'm just sitting up there waiting to break tower and my team's just getting rolled over. and it's
Wait,
like,
so you said
do
your team's ahead or behind?
my team's behind. So like
Okay.
my team, like say my team's getting smashed
Mhm.
in the rest, like bot and mid. When do I just abandon my tower to help the rest of the map?
When you're at risk of your team dying.
Okay,
You would just shout the wave and then go help them.
okay. Because like sometimes it's like, if I leave, I know my tower's gone.
Mhm.
So okay,
Okay, so I want to go back. I kind of sped through the early game a little bit more than I should have. And so I'm just going to go specifically and talk about like the level 1.
okay, yeah.
Because the KO matchup should not be hard for you early.
How much of this would you say applies to like Nasus as well?
Almost all of it.
Okay, because he's another particular
Yeah.
specific one that
Okay.
I hate.
So, start off. Cap. Well, this is fine initially, but then still being here now is a problem. Okay.
Okay.
When you're against a matchup where you have control level 1, the reason you have control level 1 is because Kale is really weak. Same with Nasus. They're very, very weak early.
Okay.
It's the whole point of their champ. So, you need to be right here, immediately pressuring for level 2. If they walk up to hit minions, you trade with them, walk into the bush like you were earlier, but then you go back to pushing the lane.
Do I hard shove or do I just
Not completely hard shove, but you do it enough to where you're slightly pushing faster than them and you can keep up your grasp.
okay? So make sure I hit level 2 first.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially
so,
since the enemy jungler started on this side of the map, so you don't have to worry
okay,
about
and
that.
don't lose. So just yeah. So keep I guess hit until the bare minimum to keep grasp up at all times, essentially, or on cooldown.
In this matchup, yes. If
Okay.
if it's a matchup where you have control level 1 or you can at least go even, yes. Now, if
Okay.
it's like a Darius or something, don't try to do that. It's not going to work.
Yes. Yes.
You'll have to space out a little bit better. But since Kale is melee and very weak early, you can abuse that. So like here,
Don't lose aggro and go right back to it.
okay. Well, hold on. First thing I want, you hit minions, you hit it 1, 2, 3 times, however long it takes for you to get grasp. As she walks to last hit a minion, well, speaking of which, before she can last hit a minion, you just zone. Stand like right here and force her to trade with you. Because
Okay.
if she walks up to auto you, you auto Q.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna win it every time. Same thing with Nasus.
Okay.
Especially if you have grasp up.
Okay, because even with so with Kale, because Kale usually starts E, I guess, and I should out trade with E, and then I should out trade with a Nasus Q, and it's going to be wasted of a Q for him. So
Yeah. Now, another problem with the position that you took. So, Kale is here, and you are in the middle of the lane. Now, problem with being in the middle instead of here.
I got all minion aggro.
Yeah, so look at the path that you have to take in order to break aggro. You have to go all the way to the bush. Whereas here, you just have to go a little bit. You have to go like half the distance to break away from these.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted you there. You go up auto Q, back away, and then go back to hitting minions. And so then you force Kale into 2 options. She either can just concede, and then you just continue to zone as much as you can until you build up a big wave.
So would you say like zone so much that I'm on the other side of the casters, or just like?
Oh, no, not to that extreme. Not level 1.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if she concedes that much, you can. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But it's not necessary. Really, this is like the most you need to do.
But stand by my melees.
Yes.
Okay.
And so if she completely concedes, she goes back here. Then you just proceed to last hit.
Yeah.
And you just let your minions die as much as possible because you don't instantly clear hers, and they fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you try to make her miss as much as you can. As you're saying, you could stand here. If she'll let you and she goes way back here, sure, zone her out of XP, but I don't think she'll be that bad.
Yeah.
And then what'll happen is because you'll have this wave fighting this wave, and then the next wave will come in, and you're starting to build up a big wave because you've been last hitting since she backed up. On the third wave, which is the cannon wave, as soon as the cannon wave is about to come in, you shove the wave and recall. Now,
wait, so as soon as when you say come in, do you mean as soon as they're about to meet?
yes. So like,
Okay.
I'll skip ahead, so hopefully it'll be a little bit better. Well, it's kind of hard with this, but like, if her wave is probably more like here, if her wave is here and your cannon wave is like here, about to come in, you start shoving it.
Okay.
And the reason that you shove it right there is because you have this big wave, cannon wave. Cannon takes 8 shots for it to die to the turret. So you have a ton of time to go recall for free. Now,
Okay.
what this does, and this is called a cheater recall, by the way. What this does is you reset. You'll have, depending on how well you CS'd, you'll have like 400, 500, maybe 550 gold. But you can go back, you can get a longsword, boots, whatever, and then you come back. So like, let's say you got boots and a refill or something like that. Well, no, you start refill, so like a longsword or something. You come back and then you instantly have that item advantage, and you didn't have to TP.
Okay.
And so then you can just continue to abuse her with that item advantage.
Okay.
Now, let's say that she doesn't play back, and so we're here again. And she plays a little bit further up. Then you just do what I was talking about earlier. Anytime she walks up to last hit, or you see one of your minions getting low, you stand in front of it and just hard trade with her every single time.
Okay.
Until she is forced to use her TP, or you go back to the situation I was just talking about where you get an easy recall. Another benefit of that early recall is that Yi can't gank you because you're gone. During that window where he would be looking to gank.
Because that's usually about when they're opposite side of the map.
Yeah. There's nothing he can do because you just left the lane. And you're not missing really anything because you just shoved multiple waves under her turret with a cannon.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is going to be an absolute nightmare for that Kale to farm, by the way. Even for Nasus as well. There's no way they're going to clear that.
And especially with Nasus, he's definitely not going to get stacks on all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you have any opinion on starting corrupting versus, because I usually start Mana Crystal just so I can have more poke, but I guess
you get more poke out of corrupting.
Well, I have less mana, so I guess it's a quality versus quantity thing.
Okay, so the reason you go crystal is because of gold efficiency.
Yes, I like it for faster sheen.
Yeah, you do get the faster sheen. So if you're looking to scale, and it's going to be a tougher matchup, then just go the Sapphire Crystal and just play back. But in a matchup where you want to be aggressive, like I was just talking about with Kale or Nasus, you go Corrupting Pot so that you can use it, get the DOT, and go ham.
Okay, because for whatever reason, I was sort of doing the opposite in my head, where it's like, I want the Corrupting Potion for playing safe, because it's more regen. But I guess it makes sense opposite, where if it's a tough matchup, I have to play safe. So just get the Mana Crystal. Okay.
So yeah, Corrupting Potion, you get 125 HP for 3, so you're getting 375, and then you get the 75 mana, so that's 225. Notice that's a 25 mana difference.
Okay.
Whereas you also get the what did I say, 375 compared to 250. So you get 125 extra HP for 25 less mana.
Okay.
So you get way more out of corrupting early if you go for that.
Okay.
And that's not even counting the DOT damage benefit.
Okay. So basically flip what I was doing there. Okay.
Yeah. So, if you would like, we can go into a custom and I can play Kale so you can practice the recall that I was talking about.
Okay.
If you want to do that, because I'm sure that's very hard to really visualize.
Yeah.
Because there was like so much that I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So can you just so let me just try and summarize. So essentially positioning. Keep her off farm as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch. Yeah. Positioning, I guess, is the most important thing. Because so positioning with the goal of keeping her off a farm.
Yeah, and then if I play back, then you just slow push until the third wave, and then you shove it.
Okay.
And then if I play up a little bit more, then you can just trade with grasp, and you should win anyway. As long as you don't just dance in my minions, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you would say would you say to still stay in Tribrush until
the minion wave is coming. Yeah, you don't want to give away that you're there, but
yeah.
You just walk up. I think she took Doran's ring. She.
Yes. I believe so.
Okay. Cool.
30 seconds.
It sucks playing a mechanically intensive champion when you have no mechanics.
Did it to yourself, my guy.
Yeah. I remember the first time I played Gangplank, I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
And I tried him like a year later, and I was like, this is fun.
That's why I'm a Garen one trick. Keep it nice and easy.
Oops.
Yeah, a little late to hitting the minions, but it's alright. You need to be hitting them faster because notice how much I'm hitting them. You need to match me or be a little bit faster.
Ahead.
Yeah.
Too far up there.
Mm-hmm. That's the wrong ability. There we go. Just shove that.
Man, any better player would have killed you by now.
Yeah, and so we're gonna talk about that after this. And I think I pointed out as we were playing, you're still a little bit late to hitting the minions.
Yeah, yeah.
Because your
Like I should be
passive
hitting by now.
nature just immediately you backed away. And then notice
Trust me,
because go ahead.
trust me, my entire nature is passive, so
Yeah, yeah. And so because you did that, you'll notice I had a very easy time of continuing to push more than you because I
yeah, okay.
started off earlier, and then because I killed your minion first, it just kind of
Made
compounds.
it super easier, yeah.
Yeah. And then looks like you were really worried about last hitting because you're not super confident in it, and then you were either missing last hits or you were hitting them too late when you could have been hitting them a little bit faster. I tried my best to mimic what a silver Kale would do. So
Oh,
I
I
played,
can,
yeah,
I can tell you were not playing your best.
yeah. Now, when it comes to me using my potion late, I legitimately thought I hit the button, but I guess not.
Okay.
So that one I don't know, but yeah. And so this is what I wanted you to do when we were in the game earlier, in the actual replay.
Okay.
And so then I wanted you to just keep hitting the minions, but the problem is you were too busy walking towards me and you weren't hitting the minions.
Okay, so don't freeze there, just still keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you could have chilled the way you were, but because I had so many more minions than you, it's gonna end up pushing into you, which is not what we want. We want you to
Okay.
get to where you have this minion coming in or this wave coming in, and you just shove it through.
Yeah, yeah, for the cheese back. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because they still meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Which you can also do this with the fourth wave, but ideally you do it on the third.
Okay.
It gets you out of there earlier, and you get just a better wave from doing it on the third wave.
Okay. How risky it would be for the flash auto?
With Corrupting Pot, you definitely could have killed me, especially with
Okay.
Grasp. It wasn't really risky at all.
I just I I guess sometimes I'm still too afraid of messing up to
Mm-hmm.
try some stuff.
Yeah, you might need to like limit test a little bit more in normals.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Get a better feel for what you can do in the early game. If you run it down a little bit, it's just normals. Just
Okay.
really try to see what you can get.
Especially those like first few levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super important that you can work on that. So do we need to do that again, or do you think you have a grasp of how
No,
to do it?
I think a lot of it's just trying to reprogram myself to, because like if you play a little bit more, there's a point where actually not back, not before this, I guess. Like I should still be pressing at this point. See how like right here I'm just like
You're
I just
walking
sit back
back.
again.
Yep.
I'm way ahead. Like there was another. Obviously you messed up on that.
Yeah, I was like, oops.
But at this point I should be going for the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. Zoning way harder than you are. Okay, so you said you don't need the other 1v1?
No, I think I get it. I think a lot of it's just like I said, reprogramming to
Okay.
maintain that level. Because I think I can do it in like short bursts, but I'm like, oh, like once I have a lead, I'm good at just like holding it there, I guess.
So I still got the notes that I never showed you.
Okay.
So this is basically everything but what we were just doing. So you work on warding when you're being aggressive. You did get a little bit of shoving the wave after KO left, but there were a couple times where you were iffy or you took too long.
Could have done it faster.
Yeah. Control wards only if you plan to be further up, not if you're under your turret. Finish boots and range chance. I really think that'll help you a lot, working on getting the earlier boots.
Okay.
So that you can either run away from them or stay on them better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a ton of ranged champs. The most I would say is probably like, I don't know, cause like I never see cannon. I think honestly, I would say Cal is probably the biggest one, or I mean Teemo obviously, but I
Mhm.
generally feel pretty comfortable into Teemo.